so many people, isn't it absolutely wonderful? Welcome everybody, and welcome to everybody who's online as well, and for people near and far, so many people from abroad too, and anybody who's watching on catch up later. Today I have a pleasure of introducing Toni, who's a friend of the church, who's our medium for today. And
good morning everyone.
So, Toni, can I hand over to you for our opening blessing, please?
Yeah, thank you, Sue. It's lovely to be able to share the platform with you.
Yeah,
I don't think we have before.
No.
No, it's lovely. And lovely to see so many here this morning. You know, the sun's shining, so it's got everybody up and out, hasn't it? Yeah. Right, if we just go into the quiet before we go into prayer. Dear Father, Divine Spirit, we give thanks to all those that attend our service this morning. And as our energies join together, we send out our love and our healing to all in need. We include our family, our friends, and those that we know that need your support. But above all, we place those that live in war conditions, the children of the world, and our animal kingdom. But most of all, dear Father, we give unto you ourselves. We ask for the support and the guidance that we long for each day. But as we go forward on this Sunday, we ask that our loved ones join us in this service, to sit close with us, to hold our hands. And we ask and give this service continued with love, honesty and truth. And I asked for your support as we go through this morning. And I leave this service in your care. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
And for those who would like to join in the Lord's Prayer, please go into your quiet space again. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as those who trespass against us. Deliver us. And leave us not when in temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Oh, thank you, everybody. And it's brought in a bit of humour as well, and it is about the lightness too. So, moving on from that, then, if it's time for the healing. So, if you'd like to send out healing to your loved ones anywhere in the world or wherever you feel, we are all healers, and we send out healing and offer healing, whether it's hands-on or absence healing. It's always for the best for the soul or souls that you're sending it to. And it's for them to accept or reject on whatever level of consciousness. But it's their choice for their journey. But it's still a wonderful thing to send out healing, which is love, to the world. So if you'd like to go into your space of peace, I'll try and get the music right. Anyone would like to speak somebody's name out loud, indicate. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we thank you for your healing balm to all who need it across the world. We thank you for healing for our animal friends, the plant and mineral kingdoms, and for the earth itself, for all she gives. We thank you for your blessings in gratitude and love. Amen. Toni, I hand over to you now for your reading and address, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning again, everyone.
Good morning.
Now we're in February, and in February we always think of perhaps birthdays, pancake days, that's all. But that got me thinking, we're leading up to Lent, and what does Lent mean to you? So I found these words, and then we'll take it from there. Lent is a chance to take stock and imagine a changed world. Lent begins with a man in a desert, and this man has extraordinary powers and knows himself to be of special importance to his God. In the desert, he's facing choices about what that means for the rest of his life. He's alone, in a semi-starved state, almost hallucinating. But the choices he makes here will not be dismissed when he returns to normal. He chooses not to use his power for his own gratification. Instead, he chooses to put himself and his power at the disposal of God for the use of others. He faces 3 temptations, like in all the best stories. The first, to turn stones into bread, to satisfy his gnawing hunger. The second is to get power over people, and the third is to make himself invulnerable. All of these things he rejects. Later on in life, we see the consequences of these choices. Jesus can produce miraculous food, but for others and not himself. He can influence people, but only if they choose to believe in him. And he accepts the death on the cross that brings the presence of God into all these situations of unavoidable human vulnerability. This is how the New Testament tells it, and that's why Jesus' followers do Lent. For a few weeks they try to see the world doesn't crumble, and if we don't have everything we want, we try to make ourselves and our resources that little bit more available for ends of others and their own needs. Whether you're a Christian or not, this choice that Jesus makes in the desert has to be made. Are we going to live our lives simply trying to get as much of what we want as we possibly can, whatever the cost to others? Or are we going to imagine a different way? It's a particularly opposite question at the moment, when we hear daily about people who are giving things up because they have no choice. Parents giving up meals so that their children can eat. These hard times are going to last a little longer than Lent, but this is a chance to take stock and imagine a changed world in which we, perhaps the richer ones, can actually manage far less than they thought they needed, in which perhaps poverty is not treated as a misdemeanour on the part of the poor, but as a failure of society to be reminded to us all. Jesus' decision on the desert led him into several years of working with and speaking out for the people his society and ours thought unimportant: the sick, foreigners, the poor people, and children. The people in power didn't like to be challenged in Jesus' day any more than they do now, and so Jesus faced scorn, derision, ultimate death for his choice to live by different rules. This is a far cry from giving up chocolate or coffee for Lent, but there is really no point at all in a Lenten discipline that isn't about reimagining the world so that revolves less about our own desires and more about the good of all. When Lent ends, that vision of the world doesn't. It's less about what I want and more about what we all need. in which the good life for me is unimaginable unless it's also the good life for you. When I read that, I must admit it was in the week, I thought, oh, it's too early to read that for Lent. But really, perhaps we've got 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks. But really, we ought to start preparing. Not just for Lent, though. Lent lasts 4 weeks, 40 days. Perhaps we could start now for the rest of our lives. Not giving up things for ourselves, but giving to others. It's surprising, isn't it? You know, going back over the last 2-3 years, what we've been through. Yes, we've lost loved ones and that. But I thought, myself, the world's going to change. This is going to be amazing. Everything's going to change. Everybody's going to accept what they've got. Be gratified for what they've got. We had 2 years of lockdown. We've had a year out of it. But when you look back, what's changed? It's surprising how quickly we can fall back into our comfort zone. I always think of Lent as a time when we can give. You might not have lots of money or lots of food that you can share, but we all have time. We can all give time to each other. You know, just a few seconds. A good morning, that sort of thing. I know I'm always harping on about that, but that's the sort of tiny wee bit of love that we can give each other. And it makes such a difference to somebody's day. But as we look back, to be honest, we are more in lockdown now than we were when we were in lockdown. You think about it, when you're in lockdown, you're allowed out for a walk 15 minutes a day. How many people were much happier? How many people say good morning to each other much more? I noticed the difference. And now, we're working from home. Some people I know who work from home, they hardly go out of their house. Because they've got their computers, their laptops, they work from home. They get up, they make a meal, they sit down again. Where's your life there? Give yourself that time to get out. Give yourself 5 minutes each day. Those 5 minutes each day is worth so much to you. Healing, it gives you healing. Give yourself time. Go forward. But also, by bumping into somebody in the street, you're giving them time. We can all sit here and send out healing, and it does wonders. But there's nothing like a smile or a touch for each other. Let's get out there. Let's support each other. Let's change this world. Because, you know, it's particularly a moment we're having all these strikes. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy. And this life isn't meant to be easy. We're here to learn lessons. But we can make it a lot easier for each other by being there and supporting each other. You know, those in Parliament, in higher places, they're telling us what to do. But we can make small changes. We don't have to follow what we used to follow. Let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's support each other. Give love. You're doing it here. It's amazing to see so many people here this morning. You're supporting each other. You're here. They come through the door. We have greeted with a lovely smile, a lovely welcome. Pass that on to somebody else. Perhaps some of you after this are going for a walk to the park. If you don't know someone, just smile and say good morning. That's all you need. But that connection, we are all connected. And by making that connection stronger, we are here for each other. And that's what we need to be. That's what we should have learned through all this lockdown. To appreciate what we have in our lives, not what we want. So I've got a small poem to finish with. This is a little poem by a leader, I'm going to call him, I can never say his name, Hafiz. I hope you've heard of him. It's called The Gift. I've learned so much that I can no longer call myself a Christian, a Hindu, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Jew. The truth has shared so much of itself with me that I can no longer call myself a man, a woman, an angel, or even a pure soul. Love has befriended me so completely, it has turned to ash and freed me on every concept and image my mind has ever known. So I'll leave you with that, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toni. Absolutely lovely. Now, it's time for our music this morning, and I'd like to say, if you want to sing in, absolutely wonderful. If you'd like to just listen, that's fine. In the meantime, Paul will also come round with to collect the free will for our church, or your church, shall we say, to continue the work. So let's see if we can get the music right this time.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, owning to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal
before I hand over to Toni for her demonstration, this is to remind everybody that this is a three-way conversation, as Laurie says every week, and other chairpersons. And so this is from spirit to spirit, through spirit to spirit. So we also like to hear a loud yes.
Yes.
Hooray. A no. And a maybe. So Toni, if I can hand over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, as I said, obviously we'll work with whatever you answer with, but I do need to hear your voice. As long, obviously, it's got to be nice. Anybody here for the first time? Not seen yourself, no, dear. Right, you're in for a treat. No. Just enjoy it. And if I come to you, as long as I hear your voice, all right? Don't worry if you understand it or you don't, and we'll see where we go. But as you know, if you've seen me work before, I like to start with a little bit of humour. And I'm afraid it's not children's humour today. Although I did have something, and I thought, oh no, I better not read that. So here we go. Ever walked into a room with some purpose in your mind, only to completely forget what that purpose was? Turns out doors themselves are to blame for these strange memory lapses. Psychologists at the University of Notre Dame have discovered that passing through a doorway triggers what's known as event boundary, separating one set of thoughts and memories from the next. Your brain files away the thoughts you had in the previous room and prepares a blank slate for the new location. Thank goodness for these studies. It's not our age, it's the stupid door. That's what I like to hear, a little bit of laughter. Right. When spirit get close, I do get the sniffles, so I apologise for that before. But I do have a gentleman with me, and I do feel that he lived to a good age. I do feel that he had the sniffles, I will say, and I feel that it's sinusy, but also I feel that perhaps he had a condition with his throat. I feel that he would have passed around his 80s, and he was generally healthy. Okay, thank you, darling. He's making me aware of my throat, and I'm going to, I do feel it's a cancer condition within the throat or the neck, perhaps the glands. Anyone can take this gentleman. He's not telling me where he's going. No, that's a...
Toni,
Sorry, who?
Well, no, you're supposed to
I'd
message
take
me.
coach with the throat, but not that age.
Not that age.
No.
And you can take, I've got the name Fred. You can't take Fred.
No.
Not his name, but associated within the family.
No.
No. Okay. Give me. Okay. I don't feel it's a father figure, is it? It's but I feel is of that generation. No.
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 You may be with me, Toni.
You know a gentleman that cancer of the throat, and in his 80s.
He was an older
An
gentleman.
older gentleman. I mean, yeah, not very good. And the name Fred within the.
Within the family, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
everybody. This isn't supposed to
No
happen.
reason why the chairperson can't have a message, because we're all here for the same reason. Right, let's he was quite restless, and I feel that when it came to his passing, it's almost as if he was denying it. Is what I want to say.
Very possibly something kept him going.
Yeah.
I don't know him very well. So.
Right. But you supported him and did any,
No, I didn't know him enough to do any of
right.
that.
So who... Okay, thank you. Okay. So who is it that you know that did do errands and support him?
He was estranged from the family, so I can't answer that.
Right,
I'm very sorry.
So. Right, where are you going for this? Okay, thank you. You are doing errands and supporting another gentleman in your life at the moment, then?
I've been supporting somebody, but not in that sort of way.
No.
Not personally, at a distance.
Right. Okay, so... And it's associated again with the family and with this gentleman if he was estranged. There's loose links is what I'm going to say. I don't
It's a
feel
stronger connection with the person I've helped from afar.
Good. So this is a message for you to pass on most probably.
Okay.
So we'll go with that. And then... Because I do feel that there is a link there. Somebody in the past, and I don't feel this is recent, has done like the family tree, family links.
Yes.
And this is where this gentleman is connected. He's shown me some lines and some...
He's involved in the part
yeah.
of the tree, yeah.
So okay. Right. Is it... So the person that you're supporting at the moment, and I feel that their health is declining.
They've got health issues, but
yeah.
they're not elderly.
No, I don't feel they're elderly,
No.
but I feel
Yeah,
that.
they've got a lot of
But
issues.
I feel that quite often it's a stage. There is a stage where possibly they could help themselves more than they are.
Okay, I need to think more of that,
That
Toni,
one,
yeah.
okay. Because he's losing a little bit of impatience here.
Probably he's been pushed to the end of his tether.
But again, it's just a matter if you're not unable to, is there someone else that can perhaps relay this message and again give him time, sit with him, and I don't feel that he has enough people around to be able to sit and have a cup of tea or give him time.
I'll look at that more closely, yes, thank
Yeah,
you, Toni.
Yeah. I know we're in February, they're giving me the 19th of February, you take. If it's not February, it's another month, but I feel it's the 19th of February.
Yes, I can connect with that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and then have another energy coming in because he's quite happy with what's been said, and have another, it's a mum's loving spirit.
Yes, but not mum.
Not mum, but there's a mother's love and there's a close connection there.
Yes.
And I feel that she's quite a huggy person. She just wants to hug you.
Yes, I know who that is,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, she just wants to hug you. And again, this lady has, she's telling me out, she would speak out, and she wouldn't suffer fools gladly. Because I said had, and she said, "No, I'm still here, darling." So it's nicely though. She always said it nicely,
Yes.
always polite.
Yes.
And she liked a little bit of the etiquettes. She liked things laid nicely,
Yes.
and she
Yes.
was very tidy. And she's saying to me, she said, "A tidy mind, a tidy house."
Uh-oh.
And, but she's there to give you support, but she's also lifting you. You need lifting at the moment.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
yeah, and she's bringing that with you. And okay, thank you. And she's also giving you healing. You
Lovely.
you need
Yeah.
support and healing. She's
understand
giving you. But she said you're doing a good job. A grand job is actually the word she used.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
you're doing a grand job and keep going. And she's just thrown in September as well.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. And there's thoughts in your mind. Okay, thank you. Thoughts in your mind about travelling.
Yes.
She says do it.
Okay.
Don't
Thank
put
you.
it off. Enjoy.
Brilliant.
Because there's times when she would have liked to have travelled and she put it off and then didn't
Yes, she
get to
did.
do what she wanted to do. But she says yes. While you're young and you can get out, she said carry on, do what you can.
Thank you.
Don't hold yourself back.
I won't.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so I'll leave you
Bless
with that.
you.
God
Thank
bless.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Right. I'm going to put that down in a moment. I'm frightened I'll squash it. Right. Okay. Joy, I'm being pulled to you.
Thank you.
All right. Now I know many phases and I know many names in this church, but I don't know everything about everybody. So, okay. I want to say I've got hordes of people behind me for you. All right? Yeah, hordes of people. And they're saying, again, you're one of these people that sit at home when perhaps you could be out. All right? There's times, perhaps in the afternoon, where you're sitting in your little armchair and you're speaking to spirit or sending your thoughts. And sometimes they would prefer it if you got out a bit more, especially when it's a nice day.
Yeah.
All right? They're saying this because they want to keep your mobility going. You understand this?
Yeah.
I feel all the aches and pains of the body. All right? And they said work through it. All right? Also, is there... Okay, you sure? They're making me aware that there's perhaps a change of medication or something, or you've just had a change of medication. One's
Not at the moment.
not
No.
right. Just be aware of that
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
because they're saying they're making me aware that something is upsetting you on one of the medications.
Right.
You get a little bit of heartburn, indigestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So just be aware of which, and maybe just, you know,
Yeah.
obviously without medical advice, because I'm not a doctor or anything
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But you do need, perhaps, just be aware of it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I have a gentleman coming in close. Thank you. I have a gentleman coming in close, and I feel he's what we would call midlife age, between 40 and 50. And I feel that he's not a son, but I feel he's on that sort of level of life with you, a nephew or something like that. I feel he is loosely family connected.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So.
Lovely sense of humour. He's having a little bit of a laugh here because he's here and he's saying, I'd never have believed this in life.
Yeah.
He'd never have believed it. He was one of those, oh, don't be sad. Once you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
And he's been gone a number of years, hasn't he?
Yes.
But he's just enjoying it. He's just enjoying himself at the moment, he's saying. I feel that when he was here, his mental abilities, he held himself back.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to
I can
put it.
understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, if only he knew different then than what he knows now. All right. He could have enjoyed life a lot more.
Yeah.
He's saying that in the past you encouraged him to do certain things, and he didn't always take you up on it.
Uh-huh.
There were times in his life where he come to a fork in the cross in the road. Okay. And he's saying you told him to take the chances, and he didn't. He held himself back. He said how life would have been different if he had. But he said that was his journey. Alright. But you, in your past life, have taken some of those chances. You've enjoyed life. It hasn't been easy, certain times, but there's times in life when you've looked back and, yeah, you might have made a mistake, but gosh, you can laugh about them now. Alright. And he's not living with regret now, because he understands more being in spirit. But he's saying, well done for everything you've done.
Thank you.
And thank you for being that example to him. Alright? They're saying your life at the moment is a little bit like a merry-go-round.
Yeah.
All right.
Saying that, yeah.
Sometimes when you think something is over and then it comes round again.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy the ride.
Right, thank you.
Spirit are having a laugh up there. They're saying enjoy the ride. And it's given me October for you.
Right,
Isn't-
yeah.
Yeah. And then they're also coming back to April for a birthday.
It'll come. It'll come.
You can't. And I want to say early April, because they're giving me the Easter time, so it's within the first 2 weeks
Uh-huh.
of April as well. Okay, thank you. And they're just saying now, there's no time for you to put your feet up. There's still plenty of work for you to do. All right, so keep going. All right, and keep this active.
Right.
So I'll leave you with that.
Yeah.
God bless.
Thank you.
I'm being pulled to this side and I'm not sure who I'm with. So, okay, thank you. I have a couple coming in. They're coming in arm in arm, and I feel it's a mum and dad. And I feel that there wasn't too many years between their passing when they went. I feel that they're very much devoted to each other, and almost when they were here they were on the same wavelength in their mind. And I've been given November, and I feel that's possibly a passing, but I'm not going to swear to that. No one? Anybody else? I mean, I might have sent it this way, but...
Take October, but then they got divorced.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What did you...
Take October, and both of them parents died.
And there wasn't much... I want to say 2 or 3 years between... Yeah. And the lady behind?
Yeah, November was their wedding anniversary. They did think they were on the same wavelength, and they died 2 years.
Right. Okay. Right. Both lives in. Want to see where we go. Okay. Thank you. I've been given a name. It's either Annabelle or Arabelle. It's you. Thank you. I'll work with you then. Okay, thank you. I don't want to pry into your personal life, but has there been a separation of ways?
Yes.
Because the couple that come in, they are so linked together. All right, there's almost like they're one person. I do feel that they were aware of this way of life, but I don't feel that they were regulars in a church. But they're fascinated, and they're pleased you're here, and they want to take you. Work with spirit anyway. Yeah, they want to take you further, all right, but they need you. I feel myself that you're quite a quiet person, but you need to come out of yourself a little bit, all right, to take yourself further, all right. Be more confident. If you're not confident in yourself, be confident in spirit. Yeah? I understand that completely, because I'm not the most confident people, and I'm stood here, so, all right. And it's surprising, just to give your trust, all right, in spirit, and believe what they give you. And it's surprising where that can take you. But they're here with just so much love and support with you at the moment, because I feel that your heart's a little bit heavy at the moment with your personal life. All right, I'm not going to go into it or anything like that. But they're just here because they are very supportive within you, the family, and everything. And they say, in life we don't want these things to happen, but sometimes we have to shut people out. All right? And they're saying, never regret. You tried your hardest, and don't regret what's happened, but learn from it. They're giving me, I know it's got Valentine's Day, but they're giving me the 14th of February.
It is
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. And they're taking me back to, I want to say that around the 1970s, some special memories that you spent with them. You understand this? I feel you were quite young then, if at all. Well, there's special memories of them that people talk about. You can take that. That's more like it. But there's also photographs. And you have a photograph of this couple, don't you? And they're saying, thank you for keeping that. All right, thank you for keeping that. I also feel that, I don't feel it's jewellery, but I feel you have some mementos from the lady. And she says, oh, they're not worth anything to anybody else, but it's just the sentimental value. And she was quite a sentimental person as well. Okay. She just says, keep going. Keep going and build your confidence up. And remember that they are supporting you from the other side with everything you do. All right. She says, you have a good heart. Keep going. And she's just proud of you. And she's blowing kisses. All right, so I'll leave that with you. God bless. Come to the lady yourself, Nadir. Come to you. You could take a couple that came in close. Yeah. But I gave November, but you can take October. Sorry. Okay. I feel that the gentleman is more strong-willed than the lady within the couple. And it's like he's behind you and pushing you forward. And I feel that you'll come to that position in life where you've got a fork in the road and it's thinking, which way do I go? There's a decision. And it's one of those decisions where it's head and heart. And he says, do what you feel is right from the heart. All right. It's not easy, and this life is here for lessons. But you have the strength. You're doubting, you do, but you do have the strength to do it. All right. And he's just giving you the emphasis, and he's behind you all the way. He's also just thrown in June for a celebration.
That's my name.
That's it. But also take the celebration. We're not sure about that, but he said there's a celebration. Okay. Bless you, thank you. I don't feel that he was of. That's a religious faith. I was questioning it. I don't feel he was a religious faith. But he says, everybody, okay, he loved a good discussion as well, didn't he? And he said, everybody has a faith, even if they say they don't. And it's almost like he's done a U-turn on this. And you don't have to be religious to have a faith. All right? And I feel that in your life at the moment there's questions on this within yourself. All right? Because here, I'm sure we're not all C of E. You know, there's Catholics, you know, Jews, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a faith, and to have a faith means that living with the well-being of the human race, living a good moral life, and he believes that you do that. Just be kind to people. The only thing is, as you found out, not everybody's kind to you. All right? But you can still send out that kindness, all right, and turn things around. I feel that there's been tears within yourself, but he's there to support you. There's a big, strong, and you could lean on this gentleman when he was here. I'm not sure on that. Perhaps I'm saying, perhaps not you personally, but within the family. He was.
He was a strong character.
Sorry?
He was a strong character.
Yes. And he was a traditional character where he thought the woman should. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, because he was. He says he did have a heart, but it was locked up. It's surprising. They still have their personalities, but they do grow when they're in spirit. But he's saying, well done, because there's certain times in your life when you've had to step out of your comfort and stand up for people. And you have some of this strength of his. All right. Determination is what he's saying. And as we said before, you come to a position in life where you've got to make a decision, and follow the heart. Alright? Yes, it's a matter of, I want to say, going one way and dusting off the others. And I don't want to say making a new start, but perhaps a clean break. You understand? Okay. It's given me March for birthdays and anniversaries as well. I feel there's more than one. You're not sure? No. Okay then. Check on that one. I want to say there's particular birthday around the 5th of March. All right, I'll leave that one with you because he's quite. Okay, I'm not taking it away, so I was just double checking. But all right, but best foot forward, he's saying, and keep going. Are you thinking of changing your car? Just yeah. Okay, thank you. He just threw that in as he was going, just to verify what. So I'll leave that with you. All right. God bless. Am I all right? Keep going, no. Matthew. I don't know why, but I just come to you. Sorry, I seem to be ignoring that side a little bit. Right, okay, thank you. Lovely gentleman coming through. I feel it's grandfather. I do know a little bit, but not very much, particularly of late. We have worked together, haven't we? Yes. But yeah, I have this grandfather, and I do feel I've met him before, because in a lot of ways he reminds me of you.
Okay.
But he's speaking out, and he's saying, you're holding yourself back.
Yes.
He's saying, put all the excuses to one side. All right?
Yeah.
And then get out there.
Okay. So,
If you need to, write a list of the pros and cons.
yeah.
And the pros will be heavier than the cons.
Okay.
He's making me aware that you have time if you need it.
Yeah.
You have your own expectations
Yes.
on yourself. So where's the enthusiasm?
Okay.
All right. Sorry about this, but yeah.
That's all right, thank you.
Yes, you've had your challenges in the past, but if you are willing to give more time to spirit, the consequences are amazing.
Thank you.
All right. You have the ability, you have the power and the energy. Do it.
Okay.
And he's having a joke because, again, he wasn't a gentleman that you would have found in a spiritualist church.
No.
But he's saying, again, what he's seen that side and what he's seen that you can do in this life. And looking back, if only he'd had the chance.
Okay.
It's given me June and July for dates.
Yeah.
And then they're jumping, I want to say September, October.
Yeah, definitely September.
Yeah. Have you just moved or looking at moving?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Don't get too comfy. Sorry.
Right.
All right. What they're saying is the bigger and better in all aspects of your life.
Okay.
All right, your whole life. But it's a matter of you giving up time and making it happen.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes.
And they're rubbing their hands.
Right.
So go for it.
Okay.
All right, go for it. Okay then, thank you. He said that's it, because he wasn't a chappie that would have sat and talked. He'd say what he meant and off he went.
Yeah.
So he said, that's it, I'm off. He says, enjoy your Sunday. He liked his Sunday roast, didn't he?
Yes.
You just brought that in. Ooh. He's off, yeah, he's off. I won't say he was a drinker, but he did like the odd pint.
Yes.
That would be his Sunday afternoon. That was his treat.
Yes.
So that's where he's off to now. So he said, enjoy your Sunday.
Lovely.
I'll leave that with you. All right, God bless.
Thank you,
All
Toni.
right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Toni. Before we go into the notices and then the closing blessing, I'd like to introduce Jim, who's brought a poem. We've seen him many times before, so if you'd like to come and read your poem, Jim.
Look at this. He's got all the ladies after him.
I know.
Yes.
Thank you, Toni.
No, you're welcome.
That's all right, to near the edge.
Got enough room.
Hello, everybody. Good day. It seems a long time since I was last here, but since my second fall, I wrote another poem, and this is the one I wrote after my second fall. And to be honest, it happened so quickly, I can't remember it at all. Anyway, you've probably heard it sung on a record by Bette Midler, and it's called From a Distance. And it's because of this that I was inspired to write this. Thank you. I call my poem, I was inspired by Spirit to write this after hearing that music from a distance. And you know, friends, it doesn't matter who we are, where we are, wherever we go, God is always looking down on us. He's always there. And that's why I've called this From a Distance. From a distance, whether near or far away, God is looking down on us in his own spiritual way. The distance between our worlds show we are not very far apart. No need to look any farther, for heaven lies deep within our heart. From this distance, God feels so far and yet so very near. His angels watch over us with every passing year. They keep us free from trouble when danger is near. With spiritual help, there is nothing for us to ever fear. Whether personal or spiritual, life takes on a different view. Those chances in life affect people like me and you. From a distance, understanding will come with all points so true, knowing even now God is watching over all of you. Without love, it's different for me and for you. In your heart, God offers so very, very spiritually true. Without love, life can offer only so much to you, unless things happen out of the blue. To overcome any distance, love will find a spiritual way. From that world of thought, love comes in a heavenly day. It helps get rid of darkness and lights the way ahead, you see. Even in travel, It will never take God away from me. God
Thank
bless
you,
you all.
Jim. Wonderful. Stay sitting there, Jim, while I just read these notices out. Okay, right. Monday this week we have healing here in the church. Those who want to come along for healing, please be here from 7:15. Healers of the church, please be here for 6:45. That includes myself, a mental note. Wednesday there's a demonstration of evidential mediumship by Barbara Breeze, and that is at 7 o'clock. Saturday the 11th, 7 p.m. there's an evening of mediumship with Kes Eggleton, and that's £8 on the door. Sunday at 11 o'clock we have a divine service with Kes Eggleton, and between 1 and 4 p.m. on the Sunday there's private sittings for half an hour. I'm not quite sure what the price is. I think it's 30. It's not showing up here, so Toni for a closing blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. We love your
Thank you.
poems.
Jim.
We all, yeah.
Thank you.
We do the same thing. Ted had to get a mention.
He
didn't
did.
One way or another. So Ted's here keeping an eye on us all.
You know, we have our two senior gentlemen
Yes.
here, and I don't know, they're just amazing. They come up here, but they're in rival with each other for all the ladies' attention.
Yes, for the ladies.
I keep getting inspired to write a poem every day, and my lovely daughter and friend, they keep me going all day. So I'm happy to say
Alan, do you want to
I
come?
hope you enjoy these poems every day.
Come and just-
Thank you for listening to what I had to say. God bless you all.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Right, please join me in prayer. Dear Father, Divine Spirit, we give thanks once again for all those that attend our service. I ask you to walk with each and every one as they go through their daily challenges, to keep them safe and secure always. And I leave each one in your care. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone, for a lovely morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toni. Thank you, Jim. And everybody have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. We may see one or two of you over at the festival at the Lighthouse. Paul will have a stall there, and is healing available. So thank you all very much.
Steps down.